I'm parked up again. Don't like driving and doing this at the same time. So to kind of move on from yesterday's video about us having to look after children and not liking the paperwork, here's another little kind of add-on to it. Because people generally forget that we all die as human beings. So the only way I can put this one into words is this way. To be a funeral director in Spain, certainly in previous years, it's kind of changed a little bit now. If you wanted to work in a town, you would have to abide by the local town rules. And that would be a thing called an opening license, for those of you that don't live in Spain. The opening license to be a funeral director in the various towns as a funeral director would be requisites. So for instance, you'd have to have a warehouse, you'd have to have a van, you'd have to have a car, normally of less than a certain age. You'd have to have 2 staff working 24 hours, as in like 2 staff working for 24 hours, not people working for full days. Yeah, car washing facilities, hygienic facilities, everything else. And that was how it used to work. So if I wanted to work in Marbella and Malaga, I'd have to have an office in Marbella doing that and an office in Marbella doing that. You'd have to have those facilities in each town you're working in. That's kind of changed. It changed quite a while ago. And it's kind of, I'm not particularly in agreement with it, but that's just the way it is. So the thing you should know is that back in those days, and I'm probably going back 10, 12 years, Marbella, the opening license had all of those things on it. But the thing that you should know is the requisite for the coffins that we had to have in stock. Because we'd have to have 50 coffins in stock. Obviously you could go up or below that, but you'd have to maintain a stock of which 13 will be for children. They don't make us carry them for stock for nothing. That's because in those days they expected us to do that ratio of work. And I think that's worth knowing, because sometimes when your loved one dies, whether it's a mother or a daughter or a son or cousin or whatever it's going to be, we all do die. And sometimes we forget that a fair percentage of that are people that are young, not old. So I always express that in that terms. I always say to people, well, back in the day when we used to get opening licenses of that style, 50 coffins in stock, 13 for children, and then we used to divide that into various sizes. So some for babies, some for smaller children, some for, you get me. So if you do suffer a loss and you're thinking you're alone, those figures kind of tell you you're not.